Alright, everybody. This is my first ever video on YouTube. And it's going to be a horror games tier list because that's what I want to do. I want to make some fucking tier lists. I want to make a lot of them. I don't know how often I'm going to upload these. Maybe one a day, maybe a couple times a week. I don't know. I'm going to figure this out all on the fly. My name is Crypnos, or at least that's what I'm going to go here on YouTube. So, I'm not going to do too many introductions with this shit. I'm just going to get right into this tier list and have some fun. Hopefully this goes nice and fucking smooth. Alright, so we're starting off. Emily wants to play. Emily wants to play. I've never actually played this. Now, just as a forewarning, a lot of these games I haven't played, but I have watched people play them, and I've watched it enough to kind of get a good idea as to how good the games are. There's also a lot in here I just have no fucking clue about. So, Emily wants to play, just for how fun and goofy it is. I'm throwing this at... Oh, fuck. I think safe. A safe spot's B. The game is so good for YouTube content. I first watched Markiplier play this game, and it was hell on earth. It was so funny watching him play it. And then I believe he watched, I think it's the second one as well. I don't know if it's on this tier list or not, but it's just so much fun with the different characters all kind of coming at you in different ways, like the fucking clown that you have to stand still for, and then you have the girl who you can't get too close to. It's a very fun game, a little indie horror game. I enjoy it a lot. Killing Floor, I think this is the second one. I don't know if the first one's on here either, but I can tell you the first one, my own personal bias wants to put the sucker at S tier, but I'm gonna put it at A. The best just outright zombie killing arcade type of like wave-based zombie game I think ever, besides maybe COD Zombies. This isn't the same as that, but same premise. So much fun, so much variability, so many guns. Even better are just how many fucking maps there are in this game. All of the modding that's in it, the different kinds of enemies. It's so much fun to play co-op. I could play this game for hours and hours and hours. I have sunk probably a couple hundred hours into this game, and I can tell you I am so ecstatic. So ecstatic for the third one to come out. I hope the release date comes out soon, and hopefully it's even sooner than that. So yeah, it's a strong A tier. I might have to move that up to S tier at some point, but we'll figure that out as we go through. So all right, Fatal Frame. I have not played any of the Fatal Frame games, to be perfectly honest. I think they were like PS2 era horror games. I'm just gonna put them in haven't played. I am interested in these though. I've heard very good things about it. I have seen a few clips of a few things. I've seen some trailers of them back on the old PS2, those demo discs that everyone used to get. It looked good. I haven't played them, so I'll have to figure that out, I guess. Dead Rising 2. Any of the Dead Rising series, I also have minimal playtime with. I would say, again, arcade type games. I'm going to put these suckers, I'm just going to make it fair. I'm just going to put them right in the middle. I'm just going to put them at C tier. I almost should just put them at haven't played. Yeah, I'm going to put them at haven't played. I haven't played these enough to give it a real chance at giving it some kind of rating. I just don't know. So I know it's going to hurt a lot of horror fans, because I know it's one of the bigger series for zombies. But PT, have no idea what PT is. I'm just going to put her not interested because I have zero clue what the fuck it is. I should go with these in order, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to go based off of this list. Resident Evil 6. When you compare it to the rest of the games in the series. It's D. I know there's a lot of Resident Evil 6 truthers out there. There's so many of them. I used to play with my brother, and if we're just going based off the co-op, I'd move it up one. But the overall experience, it's just a D. You have to play it with somebody else. It's just the story is not as fun. Well, the many storylines in it are not as fun. I think it's the worst depiction of Leon in the entire series. It's just it doesn't feel like Resident Evil. It is the one black sheep of the Resident Evil series. I just not my favorite game. It's my least favorite Resident Evil, and I know that goes for the same for a lot of people. So moving on. Dead Space. I don't think that the remastered one is in here. If we're going this one remastered, whatever, S tier. One of the best horror games to ever be released. Still to this day, it is hard for games to get cosmic horror wrong, or for them to get cosmic horror right. Dead Space did it flawlessly. At least the first one did. The first one did amazing. And whenever they did the remaster would be like an S plus. Having that game updated, it is so much scarier than the first one. Even to this day, I am still kind of shifty when I played it with like the jump scares still got to me. The entire just dark atmosphere. It's crazy. It's one of the best horror games ever made, and I don't think they'll ever make another cosmic horror at the same level as Dead Space. I just don't think they will. Resident Evil 2, I'm going to base this off of the remaster, the new one. This one is going to go... Oh, where should I put this one? I don't want to rate it too low, but not too high either. I'm going to put it at a B. Very solid. Great remaster. Definitely better than the third one, which I think comes up on this list of Nemesis, I think it's called. I played through it. Comparative to the original one, it is better than the original, in my personal opinion. I like new updated games with updated graphics. I know it's such a shallow fucking take. A lot of the old games on here that I've played may or may not be lower down on the list than some of the newer games under that bias. I'm going to try not to input that too much into this, though. It's just a very good game all around. One of the better Resident Evil games overall, I think. It's not the best, definitely not the worst by any means either. It is a very solid game. Young Leon, young Jill. They're just a great duo. Two of a lot of people's favorite characters in the entire series. Just put it at B. I'm not gonna go too deep into trying to explain. Resident Evil 7, Biohazard. Putting personal bias in with this one. This one's a fucking A tier for me. It might be my favorite Resident Evil behind 4. The atmosphere, the setting of this game, bar none, might be the best in the entire Resident Evil series. Fucking backwoods, or like back swamp, of the bayous of Louisiana. The characters, the entire Baker family. It's just goated. The dinner table scene that they had in the trailer, and to open up to introduce you to the characters in the game, it's just so good. The survival aspect, it was perfect. You felt so much more helpless than you ever were in any of the other Resident Evil games, but you could still defend yourself to a point. You were very limited with resources. Like everybody just had a certain kind of difficulty to them in this game. And the story, while a lot of people don't like the story as much in this one as the rest of the Resident Evil franchise, I think it's great. I think it's amazing. I love it. I love every aspect of this. I loved all of the DLCs that they released for it. Very just an A tier game to me. Not too far off from being an S tier for me personally. I don't know what this is based off that screenshot. I don't know what that is. Slender. Unless I'm just missing it somewhere else. Yeah, there are different Slender games. I'm just gonna use. Oh no, that's 8 pages, so that's probably the original. This one I don't know. I'm just gonna put in to have. Not interested. I'm not as huge into the Slenderman games as a lot of other people. Dead Island. Dead Island to me is also a solid B tier. This is what what everyone expects a zombie survival game to be. It has every mechanic. It's one of the pioneers of the zombie survival kind of, not a sandbox, but just kind of like an open world zombie survival game. This is the blueprint for a lot of other zombie survival games to come after it, which also includes one of my all-time favorite games ever that comes down on this list later. And you will know when it gets there because I will be ecstatic to talk about it. The setting in this game, great. I liked that you were more reliant on melee weapons than you were actual guns in this game. Other than the fucking infinite ammo glitch and the infinite just copying of weapons that me and my friends found back on 360 with this game. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's a very good game, B tier. There's just better games in this specific subgenre of horror, like a zombie survival horror game, that comes along. So that's why I had to kind of put it at B tier. Don't get me wrong, it is still one of the better ones ever made, but we're talking about all horror games here, so can't get too crazy with it. Amnesia, I can't remember. Is this the Descent one? I can't read it. Whichever one. This one's an A tier. One of again one of the best atmospheres in any horror game ever. It's so good. It is so unnerving. It is so creepy. The storyline for this, while like first run through this game, you won't understand a lot of what's actually going on when you're going through and reading all the pages that you're picking up and everything on all the clues as you're going through. But when you start to kind of dig deeper into the lore, you go through another playthrough and you really start to kind of piece together the story a little better. It's so good. It's so deep. They did such a good job with it. Fuck. Man, really thinking about it now. Man, yeah, I don't know if this is gonna piss some people off putting it this high. I'm gonna put it in an S tier actually. It's that good. It's that good. It's that good. Getting chased around by the fucking humanoid thing. Ugh, I've never. It's one of the scariest games I've ever played. One of the scariest ones I've ever played. Loved it to death, and I would love to play through it again sometime soon. All right. I've watched plenty of people play the Manhunt games. I, I'm sorry. I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like games that are just kind of stupid and gory like that. Like gory to be gory. Just going around. I don't even remember if there was much of a story to it. If there was, I don't remember it. It's not that memorable to me. Must be. Um, yeah, that's where I'm gonna put it. I'm not into games that are just for shock factor. I'm not. That's not my kind of thing. So that's just where I'm gonna stick it. The original Resident Evil 1, I think it is. This one also is gonna go in a B tier. Also another one of those pioneers of horror games and kind of paved the way for a lot of horror games today. I'm putting it at a B tier because again, out of the Resident Evil series, there's just a couple that I find to be better, aka Resident Evil 7 and what I have mentioned already before, with 4 will be higher as well. I just have to put it another tier or two down from wherever I put those at. The I love the aesthetic and the gameplay of having the fixed camera angles down hallways, through doorways, and rooms and stuff, but at the same time it gets kind of old. There's just not a lot of replay value for me with those. They're great one-time experiences, but don't I It's one of the games where I just, as soon as I finish it, I don't ever get the itch to go back and play it again, which is why I gotta put it at B tier for me personally. I can't read this one, but I know I haven't played it. I'm just gonna put it here. Don't get mad at me with that. Walking Dead Survival Instinct. Is this that fucking? This isn't the Telltale series. This is that other one that was pretty bad. I'm just gonna put this one at laughable. I remember seeing a bunch of gameplay from this one, and everybody hated it. It was super cheesy. I just remember there's like no redeeming qualities of it. They were basically trying to do a more modernized, just zombie survival game with like weapons, and it's just no, everything that I remember, I'm just gonna stick it right there. That I don't remember a single redeeming quality of that game that ever looked good by any means. Outlast is an A tier. Outlast, to me, it's just a little worse than what Amnesia is. Kind of playing to the same, like, just getting chased down, having no way to really defend yourself at all. Those helpless horror games. I'm gonna put. There's quite a few of them that'll probably be set up here on the top because they define they define horror, the horror genre, being helpless and not being able to really defend yourself in situations at all anywhere in the game. You just kind of have to run and hope you don't get caught. And just with that, you're just in an unknown place with these weird, creepy humanoids and these psychopaths just chasing you, and so unnerving. And just the whole idea of having everything basically behind a camera, like you're recording it, like you're finding lost footage. Very well done. I don't have too much more to say about it. It's very, very solid game. A tier. Silent Hill. I played some of the Silent Hill games. I can't tell which one this one is. I'm just gonna put it in played but interested because I like the entire Silent Hill series. Dead Space 2. I'm not gonna talk too much on this one. This one I'm gonna put in B tier as well. It's not as good as the first Dead Space, but it holds up pretty well even to this day. It's very much the second best game out of the three. It goes 1, 2, 3. I'm pretty sure everybody kind of agrees that Dead Space 2, second best Dead Space game, behind 1 and ahead of, probably the third, at least for most people. So, The Thing, I didn't even know there was a game for The Thing. I thought it was just a movie. If it was a movie, it'd be goated S tier, but I'm just going to put it down, played, not interested, because I don't think I really care about playing the game for it. Resident Evil 3, Nemesis. This one I'm going to put C tier. I didn't enjoy 3 as much as I enjoyed the first Resident Evil, or quite a few of the other Resident Evils. It almost feels disrespectful to put it only 1 tier above 6. But I don't want to put 6 into laughable because it wasn't that bad. Resident Evil 3 wasn't that good either. I mean, yes, it introduced your boy Nemesis, but outside of that, the storyline, it was just a little stagnant for me with this one. Gameplay wise, a little lackluster for me as well. Again, I'm not going to put too much thought into this one. I'm just going to put it into C because I haven't played it in super recent times, so I would need a refresher to really truly know whether or not it deserves to be higher or lower. I'm just going to put it in C, kind of in the middle, just average. Okay, one of my hot takes on this entire list from what I am seeing on here. The Evil Within. S tier, baby. The Evil Within. One of my all-time favorite horror games. I love the entire idea of this game. The whole thing of getting trapped into this horror matrix type thing. And honestly, for a decent chunk of the start of the game, you don't even know that you're plugged into this matrix. You just think that everything that is happening is all supernatural. Really, no, nothing supernatural about this. It's all actually, I wouldn't say realistic or scientific or anything like that. But everything that's happening is happening because they're plugged into this like hive mind type of machine, and like these horrors that happen inside of this aren't actually real in real life. Like the people who are running it are the horror, but everything that happens is just like, I just love this game. The green gel, using that as currency, it's great. Ruvik, the main antagonist of this game, is just amazing. I love everything. Sebastian's a great protagonist. A little cookie cutter, but I'm perfectly fine with cookie cutter as long as they do it right. As long as they do it right, and they did it right with this game. One of my all-time favorite. This one also had me in parts a little on edge trying to go through the game, even though this one gave you a lot more of a chance to defend yourself in. I still felt a little hopeless at times because it's like you can't really have too much. You can't screw up too many times, or else you'll get axed, bitch. Okay, moving on. Now I don't think this one's gonna be a hot take, but this is a hot take for me because Dying Light is one of my all-time favorite, not just a horror game, one of my all-time favorite games ever. Dying Light, in my opinion, is the perfect open world zombie survival game. Dying Light is beyond light years. No, I wouldn't say light years. It's at the top of the food chain for me for any kind of horror game, zombie survival game in fucking general. Dying Light hit the nail on the head with this. Parkour zombies? How can you get any better than parkour zombies, dude? I love this game to death. I got this it was my first game that I played on PS4 when I got a PS4. This is the game that I picked up because I was like, oh, I seen some gameplay of it. I was like, ooh, zombie survival. I've always loved zombies. I got it above, I think at the time, Black Ops 3 was coming out when I got this. I got this over Black Ops 3, and I played the shit out of Black Ops 3. But this game, I grinded for so long. This game is good solo. It's good as co-op. The whole map is great. The aesthetic and atmosphere is amazing. It just feels so desolate, and even though there's a lot of people, a lot of NPCs kind of mixed here and there, everything feels so desolate and empty. Not in a like there's not a lot of content in the game kind of way. Empty as in it feels helpless. Everything in it just feels like you feel like you're in a quarantined zombie apocalypse, which is exactly what they were going for with this. One of my all-time favorite greats. One of the all-time greats in my own personal opinion. So that's where it's going. Honestly, wait, I gotta switch that. I'm not saying that these are all in order, but Dying Light just has to be number one for me. No other game in here is gonna surpass that. I should have left that maybe a little bit later, but it's a fucking amazing game. Manhunt, I'm just gonna put it down to laughable as well. I'm just not a fan of these games. Just not. Walking Dead Telltale series. I'm gonna put these at a C. Very interesting. One of those games that just has no replayability whatsoever. It's just kind of an interactive movie. Basically, you get to kind of pick and choose like the outcome and everything with like a butterfly effect type of thing. It's a pretty decent little game. It's not my kind of game though for horror, which is the reason why I'm putting it at C. I played through it once, wouldn't play through it again ever, I don't think. I had a good experience with it. It's just not my type of thing. I'm not huge on that. Okay, I know I said that Amnesia up here is going in S tier, The Dark Descent, I think it's called. Well, I can't really tell what this one is. I'm just gonna put this in haven't played, not interested, or in interested, because I played one other Amnesia game, but I can't tell which one this one is. So yeah, this is where it's gonna go. This one I have to put in haven't played, but I am 100% interested in trying to play that one. I have seen some gameplay of it, and I know a lot of people say it's an underrated game. I agree with them. I'm just gonna put it right there for right now. Resident Evil Revelations. I have very limited play time with this as well. I have to put it down with played but interested. Since it's down here, now I'm gonna wait on that. I have no idea what the hell that is. Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know. Do I be objective with this? For the idea, I'm just gonna put it in C. It's purely just kind of jump scare value to me. Like it's all about the jump scares. It was iconic when it first released because of Markiplier and anybody who played any of those types of horror games, and it got a big rumble for a while. I've never got the entire appeal of it. It was more fun to watch than it was to play. C, I'm just putting it in C purely just based off the memories that I have of this game with watching Markiplier and Jacksepticeye and all that group play it. Basically, I was never a huge fan of ever trying to play it myself though. Fear. I'm gonna put the entire Fear series all on the same level. Maybe I won't. Fuck. I'm gonna put oh no, this is the third. Is it? Man, I didn't even know there's a third one. So this one I have to put in right there because I haven't played that one. Is that trying to indicate a 3? I don't know if that's indicating a 3 if that's the first one. I don't know. Fear 2, I'm putting in C. Creepy ass game, that's for sure. Man, I actually don't remember as much about Fear as I thought I did. I remember some aspects about this game. Not a ton. I think I'm just gonna have to put it in here. I don't think I'm playing enough. Yeah, I can't rate it. I don't want to put shit in the wrong place without actually playing these games enough to know. Don't know what this is. Friday the 13th game is going to D for me. It's just a worse Dead by Daylight, but like quite a bit worse Dead by Daylight. There's a couple funny clips of people playing it, but you can do that all in Dead by Daylight too, basically. It's not that good. It's not very good at all, personally. Alright, Resident Evil 5. I don't want to dunk on this game too much, but I'm just going to put it at C. It's another one of those Resident Evils that just doesn't feel like Resident Evil to me. Both 5 and 6 were like the 1 and 2 of my least favorite games in the series of the main line of games. I never really liked the weird greeny kind of bland color scheme that they went with this game. Everything just didn't look good in this game at all. Chris overall, I'm not as huge of a fan of him as a character. I think he's just a little he's cookie cutter, but he's just kind of just sitting right in the middle of cookie cutter, if that makes sense. He is like kind of just what I expect a protagonist to be. There's just nothing really too special about him. I mean, the motherfucker punching just big rock boulders. Whatever, bitch. Leon's so much better, personally, in my opinion. Yeah, it's just one of those Resident Evil games that I probably won't go back and play ever again. Maybe one time, like maybe if I streamed it or something, and just like if I was going through all the games and I was like, oh well, I kind of have to play this. I'd probably have an okay time playing it, but I'll never go out of my way to play it again. Slender, I'm assuming this is just with the regular 8 pages of the regular game, the original one that came out back. I don't even know how fucking old this game is now. I just remember playing it forever. But again, C, kind of middle of the road. It's good for what it is. It was great at the time. One of those games that just blew up. I'm not trying to rate these games based off of just iconicism, because if it's iconicism, both Slender and Five Nights would both go into S tier, but I'm just not. I don't want to do that. Again, one of those games that once you go play through it a handful of times, it gets kind of repetitive and boring and old. It's great the first couple times, especially the first time. I remember the first time I met Slender, and it was jumped me right out of my fucking chair. I was like probably like 11 or 12 years old, I think, at the time. And yeah, he gave me a scare, but I mean, it got kind of old pretty quick after you get jump scared a couple times because you're just it just doesn't that that fear factor doesn't last as long as you would like. So C tier, kind of middle of the road. Um, don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. Dead by Daylight. Like I said, put that down in D. I'm gonna put this up in B. This is a great party game. So much fun to play with friends. I've played it with a couple of my friends recently. I only just got into this over the past probably couple. Well, no, not even a couple months. This past month, I was gifted this by my friend. I haven't even got to play this with him, but by myself solo, and it's a pretty solid game. I like it. It's such a good game to watch people play as well. Well, like the whole Markiplier crew, the Vanoss crew, Smitty's crew, everything. It's so much fun to watch, and it's about the same to play as well. As long as you got a good group of friends to play. When you're playing with randoms, it's a little hit and miss depending on who you got teaming up with you. But yeah, pretty solid game. Put it on B tier. It's so much replayability. This one's gonna be another one that people are gonna be mad at me about. I haven't played Alan Wake. I want to. I know it's a good series, but I just haven't played it. Um, I played this one, but it's been so long. I played this one as a kid. I remember it being scary as fuck, but that's all I remember. I'm just gonna have to put it down here and I haven't played, but I really need to visit the entire Silent Hill series again at some point. System Shock. I don't remember this one either. I don't think I ever played this one. System Shock. I know a lot of people like this one. I'm gonna put it in interested though. All right, I played Revelations 2. I haven't played the first one. I got this one for free. I think on PS Plus one time. I'm gonna put it in C. It was an okay story mode. You could definitely tell it was kind of a secondary storyline to the main storyline of Resident Evil. Overall, the gameplay was okay. Bosses were okay. The storyline was okay. Everything was just okay about this game. Nothing really stood out to me a bunch. So that's just where it's gonna set for C. Dead Space 3. Now a lot of people would put this probably in D and laughable. Dead Space 3 was the first Dead Space game that I played, so has a little bit of bias built into it, but it's going in C for me. I had a great time playing this game. I had a great time, and the only reason why it's not going into D or laughable is because it was my first Dead Space game, and I didn't play 1 or 2 before this one, so it didn't ruin my experience. Playing 3 and then going back to the first 2, yes, the first 2 100% are better than 3. But 3, looking at it with my rose-tinted glasses for it, it was still a pretty good survival game overall. The storyline was pretty fucked overall, but the gameplay itself was there. The graphics were a little bit better with it and everything too. Most of the same enemies. It has the basis of a good Dead Space game. It just doesn't have the horror factor or the storyline that the first 2 have. So I'm just gonna put it at C and leave it at that before anybody comes in wants to make an argument out of it. All right, Zombie U. I actually played this both on the Wii that I had, and then it also came out for free on PS Plus. So I'm gonna put this. Damn. I can't put it as high as B. I can't put it above these. This is another C tier game. This is actually better than most people would ever think Zombie U would be when you look at it. It looks like a knockoff indie horror game that that was developed by fucking Nintendo, which it was, but they actually did a good job with it. It was a pretty creepy game. It was very scarce with supplies. Like it was very it had a horror factor to it, which is what I'm looking for in horror games. Is a horror factor, is a scare factor, fear factor, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So C tier is where I'm going to put it. I definitely suggest if anybody has not played it, go and give it a try. It's a good experience overall. A lot of people I don't even know it exists, and it's pretty solid. So, Fatal Frame, another one I haven't tried yet. I'm gonna put in there though because I want to try it. Saw, fucking laughable. I actually like the movies, believe it or not. At least some of them I do. The game, I think, is just kind of dumb. It's another one of those things where it just doesn't even feel like you're playing a game at all. It just feels like you're just watching a really low graphic fucking Saw movie. When you just go watch the damn movies, just go watch it. Silent Hill 4 The Room. Now, this is the one Silent Hill I 100% remember playing, and it was creepy as fuck, and it's going into A tier. One of the better Silent Hill games, I'm pretty sure, outside of, I think, maybe like the first one, which I think they're doing a remaster on. I'm pretty sure. I'd have to look that up, but this game, I remember the demo when it came out, and, this was on a demo disc. This had the hair standing up on the back of my neck. I was scared to open up my fucking door of my bedroom at night when it was closed because I just thought shit was gonna start crawling through the walls, man. This game traumatized me. But looking back on it, it's so good. It was so good. So good. It just had one of the best, what would you call it? One of the best atmospheres in horror as well. Just everything was so grainy and so dark and very liminal too. That's how I would describe this game too. It's very liminal. The whole game is unsettling as fuck. Yeah, it's a great game overall. Put it at A. I won't dispute that at all. Last of Us. Oh, I don't want to disrespect it. Do I do it? Is it S? It's S. It's S. Last of Us is an all-time great for survival horror. I mean, I guess you can classify it as horror. I know I was never scared by it, but it was one of the best post-apocalyptic kind of zombie-ish type of games that I've ever played. The horror. This is one of the few outliers in horror where the horror aspect of it isn't really the driving point of the game for me. The storyline was great and the characters were great in this. The gameplay was a lot of fun. It was just a lot of sneaking around, and they did it the right way. They did it not in a boring way. There's a lot of variability in how you can approach an enemy and try to fight them. Great game, amazing game. I can't say great. It's an amazing game. Umbrella Corpse. I haven't played this one, and honestly, from what I know, with most of the other Resident Evil games off to the side that I don't know about, I probably don't care about playing it. So I'm just gonna put it in. Not interested. Layers of Fear. Don't know this one. Operation Raccoon City. This one's going. This is better than what people give it overall, I think. But everybody also thinks it's fucking horrible. I can't put it on the same level as 5. It's just going in D. I think it's probably better than D. I would probably almost want to add one more tier to this, but I'm not going to overcomplicate it. It was fun. It was all right when you're playing with friends and stuff. Also, another one of those games. It just doesn't have a lot of replayability. The fear. LOL, I misclicked. Where'd it go? I accidentally made... Oh, Silent Hill, there it is. S tier. All I know is that it defined one of the pioneers also of horror. One of the scariest games as well. It was crazy. You know something? For some reason, remembering the original Silent Hill is making me remember seeing trailers and stuff of Fatal Frame, even though I haven't actually played it, back on PS2, I believe. Yeah, I remember it being that creepy. It was creepy as fuck. Because I think when ghosts and shit were coming after you, I think in order to see them, you had to take pictures of them and stuff, and you had limited amount of camera that you could use. I do remember some of that. Not enough to be able to rank it differently, though. No, the original Silent Hill, I don't have too much to say about it because I haven't played it in forever. I just know I just remember it being an amazing game. I'm not going to disrespect it by by putting it too low. I think I know just a little bit too much about it to say that I haven't played it yet, though. So I'm just gonna put it in S tier. I know it's an S tier game. You're not fucking playing it. All right, the Evil Within 2. A little bit of bias with this one too. This one's going in A tier for me, just a step down from the original one. It lost a little bit of the horror aspect, the scare factor that the first one had, but the gameplay improved a ton. The variability with the weapons improved. The big saw scare lady that they have a couple times throughout the game. When they first introduced that scares the fuck out of me. Just another great game to me. I think The Evil Within is one of the most underrated video game, like both 1 and 2, some very underrated horror games. It was also very much you either love it or hate it type of game, because everybody that I know that likes it loves it, and everybody who doesn't like it thinks it's just garbage. So yeah, I'm putting it to what's next? Yeah, same with the first one. I haven't actually. Well, actually, I did play some of the first one. Did I? No. No, I mean, I still have to put this on here because I haven't played it. Yeah, I haven't played the first one either. I just know good things about it. That's all I know, though. I haven't played this one. I'm assuming it'd probably be just as bad as the first one, if not worse. Resident Evil 4. You know it. Everybody knows it. It deserves. It was ranked as one of the greatest games ever made. I think it was like top 25 of all time. It is such a good game. The best Resident Evil, personally, for me. It had a great splice of the survival aspect, of the helplessness aspect, at least in the first playthrough of the game before you get Infinite Launcher and all of the other guns in it. But the first playthrough, especially like the first playthrough that you ever played of this game, everything felt somewhat hard to kill, somewhat hard. You had to be a decent shot and able to really kind of take advantage of the combat system in this and everything. And there's a lot of exploits that you learn later on and everything that makes this game a lot of fun to replay as well. Everything about this game was great. Leon's one of the best protagonists in the horror genre. Sadler, the little fucking short dude in the castle, for some reason I am not remembering his name. Great villains or antagonists in this game. Same with Jack Krauser. I hate his fucking remastered version of him, but the one from the OG Resident Evil 4 was great. Oh yeah, ranking even the remastered Resident Evil 4 goes up here in S tier as well. I don't have to honestly go too deep into this for everyone to know why that's an S tier game. It's one of my favorites as well. Is this Alien Isolation? I think this is Alien Isolation. I see that, but that doesn't look like Isolation. This will go B tier. Very, very much kind of on a similar realm to me as like an Outlast, but just not. It's not as creepy to me. The alien creatures never really scared me, even as a kid, for some weird reason. I don't know why. They always just reminded me that like they just seem so over the top that I don't know. I could just never connect with them ever being like real, which is kind of what makes games and movies a little scary to me, is just like me believing that it could be real. Which, to be honest, who the fuck knows? They could be out there in the universe somewhere, but it just seems so unlikely to me that these things probably exist. Don't get me wrong, the movies are fucking amazing though. They're some of the best. Yeah, I'm not gonna go too deep into this one either. I played it with a friend quite a while ago, back closer to, I think, to when it released. We played through the game kind of on and off together a little bit here and there. I think he ended up beating the game himself at some point because I think I stopped caring about it. But while I was playing it, it was a very fun survival type game, like in the similar way of Outlast and Amnesia, where you couldn't really fight back. You kind of had to just hide and run, and you just felt so helpless. And those types of games, when they're done right, are just amazing horror games. And Alien Isolation is no different to me. So Walking Dead, I don't even know what this one is. Is there a new one? I don't know. I probably won't care to play it though. Don't know this one. Clock Tower? Is that what that says? I don't know this one. I don't know this one. Oh, there's a little stretch of games that I don't know here. Black Site. I don't know Black Site. Sorry to everybody who knows a lot of these games. Fatal Frame, I do want to, again, try to play through at some point. Alone in the Dark. It's another one that I've heard good things about, but man, I haven't played. It's really kind of a shame that I haven't. Man, half this fucking list I haven't even played. I'm sorry, everybody. I know about a lot of these. The ones that I haven't played but interested, I know about them, and I know some about them, and I have played a few of these before, but very limited and just not enough to really give a good rating on. Same with this one. I didn't even know there's another Aliens game. Clock Tower. I don't know Clock Tower. I'm assuming because there's more than one, it's probably good at some point. Okay, this is a weird one for people. Cold Fear. This one I got as a Christmas present from my parents when I was also like probably 10 or 11. They probably just thought it was an action game. I had no idea it was a horror game until I got probably an hour into it. When you first meet the zombified fucking creatures in this. This is also going to be a hot take, man. This is going to be a hot take. This is an A-tier horror game for me, man. Cold Fear was great. I loved it. It was the setting for this on a fucking boat and then moving to an oil rig on the second half of the game. It's so good. It was so creepy. This was one of the ones for like when I first played this and I first encountered the zombies, I died the first time I encountered them, and I stopped playing it for a little bit because I was afraid to come back to this game. I was genuinely afraid, terrified. Once I was finally able to get back to it and start playing through it more, it was very, very fun. The variability of some of the weapons and everything, like, I mean, this is, again, rose-tinted glasses back then before you had a lot of other types of games, and like different horror games and whatnot. This was one of the first horror games that I played all the way through, and man, it's been a while since I played it, but I remember a lot about this game, a lot, and everything about it was great. The variability of some of the creatures, like the fucking dog type thing that can crawl up on the ceiling, the walls. I remember in one of the first levels in the oil rig, you would go into it and he follows you around, and the only reason you know that he's there is you kind of hear his footsteps and a certain fucking soundtrack comes on when he's around, and you know it's time to run. Time to fucking run. And the invisible creature, just the regular zombies. I know there's a couple other special variants, but very good game. I highly suggest you go pick this up. I don't know if it's on Steam. I imagine that it is. If it is on Steam, go get it. Go play it. I can't imagine it's much. Totally worth giving a try. I don't know, Shell Shock. This looks like a Jeepers Creepers game. Yeah, just put it in there. I don't know this one either. Ooh. I got another hot take for everybody here. Another hot take. This is actually going to be my last one that I'm ranking because I don't know these other two either. I'm sorry for Clockwork fans or for Clock Tower fans. Area 51. Area 51. This actually might be the hottest take. The hottest take of my entire video, because there's probably a lot of people who don't know this fucking game exists. A lot of people don't. But the ones that do know this game is an S tier. This game's fucking amazing. Area 51. Oh, I remember I found this game on a PS2 demo disc with it was on with one of my other all-time favorite games, Metal Arms. It was on, I think it was on like a James Bond 007 demo disc. I think some of you guys might remember what this was on actually. This game's story was so incredibly well done in my opinion. The atmosphere of this game right off the bat was immediately like, oh, as soon as you started going down the elevator farther into the bunker and you were seeing all of the crazy shit that was going on, you knew that you were getting into a crazy situation in the game, and it delivered. It delivered. Everything was great, all the way down to every creature you found. Spoilers. If anybody ever wants to play this game, spoilers. You can just probably end the video right now if you want to. The fucking, well, actually no, it's not a spoiler. It's right in the fucking cover of the game. The aliens that you meet near the end, man. This game went so deep into the conspiracy theory, like, iceberg, that it just took a lot of conspiracy. That's why I love this game so much too. It's just because I love conspiracies. I don't believe in them. I just love reading about them and kind of like, oh, what if this shit was real? Area 51 is a conspiracy theorist's dream of a game, man. Anybody who also has any way of playing Area 51, go get it, go pick it up. It's such an amazing game. I highly suggest it to everybody. Go try it out, please. Anything that's in the S tier, go play. Anything in the A tier, go play. Anything B tier, it just depends on if that game is your preference, go play it. And then everything below that is just kind of, except for Zombie U. Zombie U I almost want to put in B tier, but I'm still going to keep it in C. I just don't know if it's on the same level as the rest of these B tier games. So yeah, and then these last two are I haven't played, and I don't know. I'd have to look into Clock Tower. The fact that there's 3 Clock Towers has to mean something. So there it is. Horror game tier list. Now this isn't every horror game out there, I know, but this is just all the main ones, at least the ones also that I remember, and it's not updated with some new sequels like The Last of Us Part 2, Dying Light 2, which would be a couple tiers lower than the first one at least. Any of the new Resident Evil games like 8, Dead Island 2. Yeah, everything in this... I had a lot of fun, actually, making this video. 53 fucking minutes. I might have to find a way to edit and clip these videos down in the future, because I imagine a lot of you guys probably got bored and tuned out halfway through this fucking video. But any of you that stayed and watched this entire thing, please, thank you. Thank you for staying. This is my first video ever. Hopefully my commentary will get better and I will get to where I can edit these out and cut the time down so everybody can enjoy it. Maybe make a couple shorts out of this type of stuff. I don't know. But yeah, my name's Crypnos, please. I don't want to be one of those fuckers, and I'm not going to do it every video, but if you liked this, please subscribe to me. I would love to keep making these videos and have a reason to make these videos past just, doing them, because I will get bored eventually. Leave a comment on what you think, how you thought this tier list was, how you thought my commentary was. I will take the positive and negative input. Please give me your best, give me your worst, people. So, all right, that's it for it. So, yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.